What's up, guys? This is Mason Sapesky here. Welcome to your Steelers Game Day post-game show. Today we are going to recap the Steelers' big 20-10 win over the Los Angeles Chargers. It was very enjoyable. We played a very good football game. Started out not so good, but the second half was all us. Absolutely owned the second half. Loved it. It was so good. So glad to see us own the second half. So let's get right into it now, shall we? We'll recap this, then we'll discuss the game, and then we'll look ahead to the Indianapolis Colts. So that's our agenda for today, and without further ado, here we go. So the game started out kind of slow for both teams on offense. Both us and the Chargers failed to score on the first possession, and that was a sign that it was going to be a defensive game, that's for sure. Well, at least you would have thought. One side, it was not a good day on offense. The other side had a decent day on offense. Pretty good, actually, to be honest with you, but yeah, so then it just was punt, until the Chargers and Quentin Johnston scored a touchdown to give them a 7-0 lead. That was huge, that's for sure. Then later on, Justin Fields ran it in, faked it nicely, kept it, ran it in for a Steelers touchdown. The game is tied at 7 apiece now. Things are definitely feeling good for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that is for sure. Then the Chargers drive down, they get a field goal, and they take a 10-7 lead. And I feel like that's how it was going into halftime. The Chargers led 10-7. Definitely did not feel good if you're a Steelers fan. Here, just let me check the iPad real quick just to make sure. I'm almost positive it was 10-7 Chargers at halftime. Get out of the music. Just listening to some music before this. So that's why I was in music. Yeah, it was 10-7 at halftime. Then to begin the second half, Chris Boswell got a field goal, making it a 10-10 game. So definitely good vibes, that's for sure. Sorry if I was a little quick there, shouldn't have rushed right into it. But it was 10-7 at the half. Then we got a field goal, made it 10-10 to begin the third quarter. We held them on defense the rest of the way. Herbert had some kind of injury, and he was replaced by he didn't come back in. He was replaced by Heineke, the backup quarterback. So that was definitely interesting. That's for sure. Later in the quarter, or I think it was the end of the third or early fourth. Let's check the iPad again. I'm sorry, I'm just forgetting. I know how the game unfolded, but yeah. But not exact quarters. That's a problem. My bad. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, it was actually early the fourth quarter. See, I thought it was early fourth quarter. Just wanted to confirm. The Steelers, Boswell got a field goal, make it 13-10 with 14-14 to go. Renegade came blaring on the speakers. Heineke, I think, was in at this point. The place went nuts. We got a stop. Then we drove the field down, scored a touchdown. Calvin Austin puts the game away. Bye-bye. Scores a touchdown, makes it 20-10. Great win. Great job by the Steelers all around. Super thrilled with how this game played out. It was definitely a very good one. Let's start off with the offensive side of the ball. I thought the offense looked really good today, actually. Fields, I actually feel like Fields could be your starter moving forward. He has done enough to prove that he is the starting quarterback of the future. You can call that. So I don't know what your deal is with negotiations in season. I personally wouldn't want to do it, but at this point you should start thinking about it and possibly say, we don't want to get this done until the offseason, but what are you thinking about 3 years, $45 million? That train of thought just started in my head. Originally I was on 3 years, 36, then I went up to 39, now I'm at 45, because I think 45 is safe. That gets you $15 million a year. And to be honest, if you want to do it the best way, do 3 years, $45 million, 36 of that is guaranteed. That would be a great deal for the Steelers. Maybe not maybe if you lower the guarantee a little bit, like go down to like say 30. Say you do 3 years, or even 27. Say you 3 years, $45 million, $27 million guaranteed. That's a really good deal on your end. And to be honest, the O-line looked pretty good today. In fact, they looked really good, actually. So, great job by the O-line, that's for sure. Broderick Jones looked much better. I was thrilled to see that. So if this O-line is good and they can protect him well, he ain't going to get injured out there unless he's running like an absolute maniac because all our receivers are covered and something happens, which I highly doubt happens. So, I mean, I would feel comfortable 3 years, $45 million. How about you guys? Comment below if you think the same things. I would 100% do that deal. In terms of the starter moving forward, you got to start Fields next week in Indianapolis. There is no doubt about that. He's going to be the starting quarterback next week in Indianapolis. More likely than not, he is going to be the starting quarterback against the Dallas Cowboys in 2 weeks as well. The only thing would be possibly this Raiders game is when you could get Russ in because you want Russ healthy for those games in December. He's the more experienced one. He could help propel you through that tough little stretch better. So that's what I want Russ healthy for. But overall, the offense looked great. Smith called his best game yet as a Steeler, and I would give this an A. Offense looked great. Defense, you guys get an A+. You guys had the game of your life. In fact, the whole team played really well. That second half is how you play. Really loved the second half performance. They got an A, and I think they did a great job today. Patrick Queen has been a tremendous asset to this defense. I was wrong about signing him. I didn't think it was going to be good. It has worked out so well. He has just provided a burst and a spark of energy to this team that we have needed for quite some time. So thank you, Patrick Queen. We love you. So yeah, definitely great to see Queen going off, that's for sure. In terms of the coaching, I thought the coaching was fabulous today. I think Mike Tomlin has proven why he's still the Steelers head coach, and he has still not yet had a losing season with games like this. I thought he coached a great game last week in Denver. He coached an even better one this week against the Chargers. This team never bowed out. This team was in trouble a lot, but they never backed down. They never surrendered. It was just so good to see. It feels so good right now to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. When you look around, the Chiefs are in a tight one right now. It's 14-13 in Atlanta. That could put them at 2-1, even with the Falcons. We beat the Falcons. Looking around the league, the Lions are 2-1. The 49ers are 1-2. The Rams are 1-2. The Eagles are only 2-1. The Texans are 2-1. The Chiefs could possibly be 2-1 if they win or if they lose tonight. If the Bills lose tomorrow, they'd be 2-1. The Dolphins are 1-2. The Ravens are 1-2. All the rest of the division is going to be below 500. We are in first place at 3-0. The only team I feel like that can legitimately say they've shocked the world and has as good of a start as us are the Minnesota Vikings, who have looked, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but they have looked outstanding this season. Credit to Kevin O'Connell and Sam Darnold for that. So good job to the Minnesota Vikings. They are the only team right now I could say with confidence, maybe fully doing better than the Steelers. Same with the Seahawks. Great job by Mike McDonald. I knew he was going to be a good head coach in Seattle, so good win by the Seahawks. So Vikings, Seahawks, Steelers, maybe Bills, maybe Chiefs, but we expected them to be good, so I'm so happy with the Steelers right now. I mean, we're performing well, and we got it pretty good. We got it pretty good, all right. We can have an opportunity here from now, essentially, to Halloween to pad up some wins. Because once November the 17th rolls around, it ain't gonna be pretty. Now, granted, it's gone a lot easier looking at that stretch now when you look at some of these teams' records. But it's not going to be a walk in the park. We all know it's not going to be a walk in the park. We'll be lucky if we go 500 that stretch. And right now, if we perform the way we do, we probably will go 500 that stretch. And it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's 8 games. 4 wins. So really, all we have to do up from now till the bye plus the Commanders game is take like 3 more games. And then win 4 of those. That puts you at 10-7. That gets you in the playoffs. But the better we do now, the more rewards we'll get then. Alrighty, let's start the process now of looking at next week's opponent, the Indianapolis Colts. The Steelers will head to Lucas Oil Stadium next week for 1 o'clock kickoff, and they will face Anthony Richardson, Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, and the Colts. This is typically a game played later in the year, but it's played early now. I kind of like it that way. They beat the Bears today, 21-16. This is not a very good football team. This is going to be one of the worst teams, I think, in the NFL this year, to be honest with you. So I'm not into the Colts a whole lot. I don't think it's going to be that interesting, to be honest. So there's no reason I think we should start 4-0. There's no reason I don't think that we should start 4-0. So I fully expect us to win that. It would be hype going into Dallas undefeated. The Cowboys lost today. They hit the road next week on Thursday Night Football in New York against the Giants. That's 1-2. That would be a 2-2 team against possibly a 4-0 team, maybe even 1-3 against 4-0. So we got the opportunity here to really back up. The good teams are crappy. Now's when you jump out. So yeah, that's for sure. And let's look at the schedule now here. A little bit, shall we? So we're 3-0 right now, as I write this down. We beat Indy. That puts you at 4-0. Say we lose a heartbreaker to Dallas. That puts you at 4-1. You're still good. We beat Vegas because they lost to Carolina today. We beat Vegas. 5-1. Beat the Jets. 6-1. Beat the Giants. 7-1. Enjoy your bye. Lose a fluke to the Commanders. 7-2. I don't think we beat the Commanders. I don't. I think it's a fluke loss, to be honest. 7-2. Beat Baltimore at home, 8-2. Lose to Cleveland there, 8-3. Beat Cincinnati there, 9-3. Beat Cleveland at home, 10-3. Lose to Philly and Philly, 10-4. Lose to Baltimore, 10-5. Lose to Kansas City at home on Christmas, 10-6. Win the next one. You're 11-6. And if we could beat Kansas City on Christmas, which I think we very well might, that puts you at 12-5. That is pretty darn impressive. So things are only headed up here. We'll see how next week goes at Indy. Definitely should be a win, but we'll look more into that as the week progresses. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe. And as always, peace. See you guys for the Colts next week.